Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Srujan. I am a practicing cosmetic dentist and your mentor for the day. And the topic which we are going to learn today is all about inlays and onlays. So what I'm going to do for you today is further break down this topic for you from this absolutely amazing book of Mind Maps and Notes by MediStudyGo. So if you guys do not have this book, go ahead, get it now from Amazon, Flipkart, Dental Cart, or directly from the official MediStudyGo website. So, before we get into the details, let me quickly introduce to you what inlays and onlays basically are. So, both of these are indirect restorations or indirect cast restorations. Basically, they're not going to be fabricated inside the patient's mouth. So the difference is inlay is going to be only on the occlusal surface of the tooth, of a posterior tooth specifically. So this is basically going to be just like a class 1 or class 2 restoration. Whereas onlay is going to be on the occlusal surface plus at least one of the cusp tip should be involved, but not all the cusps, right? So the difference is there is at least one, but not all cusp tips involved. So in this diagram over here, you can see the difference between inlays and onlays. So inlays, which is on the left, you can see it is clearly a class 2 cavity preparation, which is basically, just fabricated outside in the lab and then it is placed inside. Whereas onlays, there is one cusp involved, which is the bucco-distal cusp and also the occlusal area as well. So this is the basic difference between inlays and onlays. So let us go through the official definitions of inlays and onlays. By the way, which is very important for exams and also NEET. So inlay is a cast metal restoration that involves the occlusal and proximal surfaces of a posterior tooth. Simple, right? Whereas onlays is also a cast metal restoration that involves the occlusal and proximal surfaces of a posterior tooth and covers and restores at least one, but not all the cusp tips. If all the cusp tips are involved, that's a different kind of restoration. So these, the last line is basically the highlight of onlays. Okay. Now let us go through a few indications and contraindications of inlays onlays. So the first indication is endodontically treated teeth. Now, obviously, if there is extensive damage, you have to use onlay, that is restoring cusp or a significant amount of tooth structure. Otherwise, we can use inlays. Now, obviously, this is kind of a replacement to crowns, which makes it a highly conservative procedure. The second indication is extensive restorations or carious lesions, obviously. The third is posterior diastema closure and occlusal plane correction. Now, this usually is done with the help of inlays only. After that, dental rehab with cast metal alloys and superior contact and contour and removable prosthodontic abutments. Now, in this diagram, by the way, we can see the one on the right, that tooth is an inlay. The second is an onlay because there is one cusp involved, and on the leftmost is a crown preparation where entire tooth structure is going to be replaced by indirect restoration. And now moving to the contraindications of inlay onlay. First is high plaque or caries index because we definitely do not want a bad prognosis. Second is occlusal disharmony due to parafunctional habits. Now this basically involves attrition, abrasion and similar wasting habits. Third is marked undercuts before tooth preparation. Now, this is a very important point because this is going to interfere with the path of insertion, the placement of the the restoration or the inlay. So it is very obvious that we need a different kind of cavity design rather than basic what we have for amalgam or something like that. There are basic differences which also we are going to go through, probably not in this video. After that, the fourth contraindication is dissimilar metals because obviously we do not want galvanic shock. There are some other small contraindications. We'll go through those as well. small and shallow cavities, because those can be uh, restored with direct restorative cements like GIC or composite. We do not want to go for extensive tooth preparation for those. Other than that, aesthetic concerns for patients whose primary focus is not aesthetics. So this is also kind of contraindication, because again we are going to reduce a significant amount of tooth structure. Now let us go through a few questions which will help us revise this topic. So the first question, which is an MCQ, is which of the following is not an indication of inlay only, which basically means we have to look for the contraindication. The first option is endodontically treated teeth, which is an indication. Second is posterior diastema closure, also an indication. Third is attrition of teeth. Now this is the correct answer, but the fourth option we'll go through, it's extensive carious lesions, which is also the indication. So the correct answer for this question is option number C, that is attrition of teeth, because that is one of the effects of parafunctional habit. So let us go through the explanation. Restoration of teeth damaged due to attrition or any other parafunctional habits is not indicated, because the indirect restoration are placed intracoronally and will not protect the remaining weakened tooth structure. Basically, we are just going to replace the affected tooth structure, but we cannot stop the further damage. So in these cases, it is very important that we treat the cause and not the symptoms. Now let us go through the second question. Why are the marked undercuts a contraindication for cast restoration? We went through this as well. So we can see these undercuts, which goes like this, as I've tried to draw in this diagram. So this is basically going to interfere with the path of insertion. So the answer is it interferes with proper insertion and seating of cast restorations. Two important points: insertion and seating. So these are very important factors when it comes to inlays and onlays, because we want our restoration to be completely seated. By the way, this what I have marked in red box, or the answer which we saw here, was a flashcard, which is going to be super helpful, especially for quick revisions right before your exams. And if you want access to more of such flashcards, you should consider downloading the MediStudy Go app. You'll get access not just to flashcards, but also to mind maps, notes, videos, MCQs, and so much more. And the best part is you can create your own flashcards on the app for the topics you find difficult. So you do not entirely have to rely on the pre-made or prefabricated flashcards. You can create your own. The app obviously is available for both iOS as well as Android, and it is completely free of cost. So definitely do consider downloading the app. And as we reach the end of this video, I would like to thank you guys so much for sticking with me till the end. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the official YouTube channel, where we try to regularly upload informative videos just like this one, hoping to help dental students like you all. Thank you so much and happy learning.